No, no.
Just
You're welcome. We'll be checking some learned friends of ours.
Amen. The public secretary of the
PDP. So we are back on your favorite channel, the Crystal Beam Podcast, and we still have Chief Omenazu Jackson of Rivers State, who happens to be, well, a factional president of Ohanaeze and also a civil society advocate. We are going to be looking at another interesting aspect that of the Igbos' quest, which is the creation of additional states for the Igbos, particularly in the Southeast geopolitical zone. Chief, I want to take you on a ride concerning this quest for additional state creation, because there has been this demand by different peoples in the Southeast asking for all manner of states. We have Adada, we have Anim, we have Onimo, we have Olo, we have Aba, and so many others. But one has been quite prominent recently, and that's the Anioma state. Well, the push for the creation of Anioma state is as old as whatever, maybe as old as Nigeria, because the people of Anioma, who are found in the 9 local government areas of Delta State, claim that they were not supposed to have been lumped up together with the Shekiris and the rest of them in Delta State, even though they were lucky to have former President Ibrahim Babangida create Delta State with Asaba as the headquarters. And since then, well, let me not say there has not been peace, but it had been a fragile peace. So I want to ask you something. As a chieftain of Ohanaeze Igbo, irrespective of the fact that you are from Rivers State, I mean, whatever concerns Igbos concerns you too. The Southeast happens to be the only political zone with 5 states, a situation that has been a long-standing source of concern for the Igbo people. What is the current status of the agitation for an additional state for the zone, and what are the arguments being put forward to justify this quest?
Well, I would say that part of the reason why there seems to be political unrest and agitation in South is because of some of these abnormalities, political indifferences.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine that the 3rd largest population in Nigeria is having only 5 states, while others is having 6. One, politically, it dwarfs their voice in the National Assembly. Politically, it reduces the allocation to the zone. And politically, it gives the people sense of non-inclusion. The war has ended. And I think the bond is supposed to have increased. So some of these indicators are reason why there are some form of agitation in the Southeast. We want an additional state for a balance, not for the sake of it, for equity and justice. And we are saying that creation, the viability of any state determines, and the population determines if the state is viable, should be created or not. And of recent, the servant of the Anioma people, the man I described as the angel of Anioma people, Sen Ned Nwoko, have been crying loud and say, give our people a sense of belonging. Anioma state is viable. It's desirable. It's a quest for long justice to be fulfilled. If Nigeria as a country want to prove that yes, the war has ended, they should create every well-meaning Nigerian, not only Igbos, should support the creation of Anioma state. The demand for Anioma state did not start today. During Obasanjo regime, Anioma State creation came on board. When the first regime as a military head of state, Obasanjo Murtala Muhammad, Anioma Quest came in. That was championed by Asadebe and Co. The next constitutional amendment, Anioma, is 40 years. The Anioma people have been crying and say, let us politically be aligned to our root. You go to the way Anioma people have been balkanized, some are in Delta Edo State, some are in Delta State. And these are Igbos. What is wrong in bringing these Igbos together? Let them join their kids in the central Igbo area, which is southeast. What is wrong with that? So for those agitating for Aba State, for Adada State, and so on, what is the viability? From the records, Anioma has the highest deposit of gas in Nigeria. These are highly resourced people. I'm not saying that other areas doesn't have resource people. This is highly resourced people, well educated. And quest for them to contribute. So the creation of Anioma State is not about politics. It's you are seeing people yearning for the opportunity to contribute to the Nigerian question, to contribute to the Nigerian quota in terms of economy and education. When somebody is begging, allow me help to solve the problem, and you said no, something is wrong somewhere. So I believe strongly that the desire and the quest for Anioma State is both moral, it's justifiable, and legal.
Wow. Well, I think you've done justice to that anyway. But when you say Anioma has the highest, okay, they are the highest producers of gas, you know, as you say, don't you think that's going to be a reason for the South not to want them to go and join the rest of their people in the Southeast?
That is the political subjugation,
okay.
And the height of selfishness, as long as I'm concerned. You see, if we are truly people of one nation, we should encourage political liberty. What are we fighting for? If we are really people of one nation, why would you be happy when your fellow citizen is crying? Why will you be happy when your fellow citizen is sad? If you claim to be one nation, the happiness of your fellow citizen should be your happiness, and his sadness should be your sadness. That's where I want to think about a country, a nation of one people, one aspiration. So until we realize this fact, that for every injury to one citizen is injury to all, we will not start building a country of our own. So people from South, which I am inclusive, has nothing to lose. The Anioma economy can only remove 30% of the economy of the entire South. So nothing is lost. But when you come to the generality of Nigeria, the Anioma question is a wound in the heart of every Nigerian. Until that wound is healed by the creation of Anioma State, Nigeria remains a country where those who are sad are being laughed at, and it doesn't show us true citizenship.
Now, do you see the possibility? Chief, let me come in here a bit, sorry. Do you see the possibility of this state being created before the 2027 elections? And if it happens, how do you think this will change the dynamics, the political dynamics of the Southeast and of Nigeria as a whole?
The possibility of being it coming to stream before 2027 is there. It depends on the political will of the presidency and the National Assembly. And I know that the champion of Anioma State currently, Senator Ned Nwoko, has the political wherewithal to drive the process, to plead with his colleagues to see that Anioma State is created. and strategically too, is a member of the ruling party. So Mr. President should see it as a way of assuaging the Igbos in making a political inroad into the heart of Igbo as a whole by balancing the equation of states in each zone. It will make Mr. President a hero of the moment. Politically, it will make the ruling party to be seen as a party that is standing on the moral pedestal. Because when a political party is devoid of justice and equity, it ceases to be a political party, but a gathering of gangsters. So if the ruling party with the presidency creates an Anioma state, it makes them stand on a high moral pedestal as a political party that dwell in justice and equity. That is where I look at it. And I believe that the president currently, having once been an activist, will understand that advocacy of Ned Nwoko is justified for equity and justice in the Southeast and in Nigeria as a whole.
And you think that with the creation of additional state for the Southeast, the problem is probably half solved for the Igbos who have been crying of marginalization and all that. Do you think that this will in any way, help to also calm them down and maybe allow them and make them to also align with the center and probably become part of the mainstream politics and then governance?
Exactly. It will hold those detention. Because see, once a group of people feel internally marginalized and the evidence are very overwhelming, for you to assuage them, you need to hit at the point of the argument where that marginalization is coming from. And the alienation and non-creation of an Anioma state is part of it. You cannot take a people away from their people and put them where they feel they are being bossed to the corner. And for 40 years, they have been crying and said, bring us back to our people. And an average Igbo person who means well knows that for Southeast to be 5 states and others zones to be 6 states, that something is wrong somewhere. There's need for this political balance. So if the Igbos get this balance by the creation of an Anioma state, believe you me honestly, the tensions will go down and they will begin to think, oh, they are now beginning to see us as part and parcel of Nigeria. So let us wait and see what happens further.
And is Ohanaeze in support? Is Ohanaeze in support of this push for additional state creation?
Ohanaeze is 100% in support of creation of an Anioma state, 101%. And we have issued statement on that effect severally. And I can tell you that I was at the National Assembly State Creation public hearing, and I presented an Anioma case clinically well. I was in the Igbo Senate rep. I was there. The documents are there. I can forward it to you. I presented an Anioma case because one thing is sure: Ohanaeze should be an umbrella protecting all Igbos all over the world. If an Anioma person.
Do you think that the Ohanaeze has done enough? Yes, one thing is going to National Assembly to make the presentations, and we know that the bill has even scaled second reading, and there's been a public hearing. We know the cumbersome steps that need to be taken before the state creation, even though I believe that the case of Anioma, which Senator Ned Nwoko is pushing for, is something that could be singled out of the rest of them. But I'm worried that the people who are yet to benefit from this are not really being carried along. Has there been any concrete effort by the Ohanaeze umbrella in conjunction with Senator Ned Nwoko to organize town hall meetings to sensitize the people and let them know of what is coming and the benefits and how they can also help to reduce the tension in the zone?
Let me be very frank to you. Like the Ibanke people in Edo State.
Yeah.
I visited there. I've spoken to them. I've been in Ouagadougou, I've been in Ndokwa, I've been in several areas on my own, talking to people.
Yeah, but what of the organization Ohanaeze Igbo, the apex sociocultural body of the
Am
Igbos?
I not the president general? Am I not the president general of Ohanaeze Igbo?
I'm worried because you are saying I was thinking that you will refer to it as we have. Yeah.
No, me and my executive have visited those areas.
Okay.
And we have issued statements to that effect. We have written to the president to please grant us an Anioma. The National Public Secretary signed it. I did not even sign myself. And the Deputy President and President General. So what I'm trying to say is that we have looked at some of these things. And our finding indicates that there are those, even in war situation, there is saboteurs.
And traitors.
Even when the war, yes, will benefit them. But for selfish reasons, they will drift to the enemy's camp.
Yeah.
The point remains that I can confidently tell you that 85%, if not 90% of the entire Igbos, which is the Anioma, is in support of Anioma State.
Okay, good.
So the remaining 15% can be ignored.
So the majority, so the eyes have it, as they always say. The eyes have it.
Definitely.